Okay, this should be relatively short because I think I know the answer to this. This will also kind of tie back to the Mega Show slightly.
Yeah, sure.
So I talked about Gundam Wing on the Mega Show.
Yep.
And it's a thing I really liked as a kid. And I know a lot of people that really liked it as a kid. It sucks. It doesn't hold up. But I still,
no, I've never watched that show, Eric.
But I still love it.
Yeah.
Is there a? Because I think the answer is no. Is there a place for things that don't actually hold up that aren't good? Like I can never show anyone Gundam Wing. One, because there's.
Yeah, there's a place for you personally.
That's what I'm saying. But like,
there's nothing wrong with enjoying.
But like, I realized that like, I have this really specific enjoyment of this thing.
Yeah.
I can never share that with anyone, because they would have to have my childhood.
Yeah, that's kind of what sucks about it.
And is there? Because I'm also
you're enjoying that on an island, and obviously there's always that risk that you'll go back to it, and you too will be like, I don't know what I was thinking. This doesn't hold up at all.
Well, but
it's
like,
weird the things, and I almost put that on my list actually. It's weird the things that we have that with and that we don't. Where like you go back to something that you love so much that you can't be objective about it, and you still feel the way you did about it, and then you go back to other things. And I think most of us had this with like 87 Ninja Turtles, and you're like, I just can't watch this anymore.
Yeah.
And it's weird the things that happens with and the things that it doesn't, and I think it's very difficult to understand why with certain things over other things.
Yeah, and what things you're willing to forgive and what things you aren't.
Yeah.
But like because it's not like I'm going back and I'm looking at this and being like, nope, it's still as good as I remember it when I was a kid. It's not. Like I'm now enjoying it ironically, but I don't even know that. Like I could never impart to you how I feel about that show.
Well, we've talked a lot. We cannot do this with Power Rangers with anybody that didn't grow up with it.
But Power Rangers,
I even have a hard time with it with 60s Batman with people.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Power Rangers at least is still going on, and 60s Batman is kind of what it is. And like if people get it, they get it, and like that's good. And Power Rangers is, I don't know, like there's some kind of a charm there. Like you can still. But do you think you can still sort of articulate what it is about that? Because it sounds like with Gundam, you just couldn't even begin to explain. No. And there are other series. There's another series that's essentially a remake of this, but does it better. And there's lots of Gundam shows that are really good.
So why not just give that to people?
Yeah. But then does it get lost? Like this is my grander question: is moving forward into the future, do the things that have nostalgic value for people, will those just be lost? Like. Is it really just the cream of the crop rises? And because you already see younger people, I'm going to stick with Gundam just because that's what's in my head, but you already see younger people coming into the franchise and looking real down on that, because that's that crappy show that they like in the 90s for some reason. But like, I'm educated, and I don't have those rose tinted glasses. I see that this is bad.
Yeah. No, I think
does it just
kind of get lost?
Do you think 89 will disappear? Once everyone's kind of moved on from like that generation that grew up with it, so probably the next generation, like the generation that legitimately grew up with the Dark Knight.
I think with each of these things, you have to break them down and say what is the inherent merit, and see if you think that will somehow or rather last. Because 89 for most people hasn't aged well, so it's possible, but it also has a really distinct aesthetic that no other Batman thing has, and I don't know that Gundam is like that.
Well, except for Gotham.
Right, but that's also throwback to that, and that's disposable and will not last. Mm. As much as you and I are enjoying it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I think it's interesting that there are things, like it's hard to say. It's that nostalgia mixing with other things, where like, because you can, every time you watch 89, you find more things wrong with it. But in a way, that's part of become what you enjoy about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Is making fun of those dumb things.
And being surprised by just how many accidental layers there are in it. I don't mean thematically or story-wise or anything, but just, oh yeah, and then, like the last several years, I keep having totally different viewing experiences with that movie, because it was perfect at one time in my mind, and now it's nowhere near it. It's not that at all. It's hardly a story. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that ends up, if that holds up. I think it will have the significance of because I don't know anything about Gundam, but with 89, it will be remembered historically because of what it did to the industry. Gundam doesn't necessarily have that.
Gundam is weird because it's important to us because it's the first one we get.
Right.
But it was a splash in the bucket in Japan.
Right. And so it wasn't really innovating or
no,
starting
it's
anything.
important to us, but I don't know how important it actually is moving forward because most people that are anime fans look at Japan, not us.
Know, yeah.
They don't think about, well, this is when we finally got it.
Whereas with Batman, 89 is legitimately, without question, the first serious on-screen Batman thing we
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. I just think it's interesting. Like I've become really specifically
that holds up to some degree.
Well, I mean, Gundam Wing does too. Gundam Wing has some really cool robots.
My point is, some people holds up in the sense that I do think in 50 years people will continue to go back and look at that, at least as an interesting historical something.
I've become really fascinated recently reading through the Gundam Wing manga of just like, I have all of these feelings that I can never give to anyone. No one will ever experience this the way that I experience this.
And obviously,
which is
lots of stuff.
Or no one that didn't experience it. Because I've talked to people about things where like they also had, you know, I have a similar thing with Sailor Moon. I imagine if I go back to Sailor Moon, specifically the original American dub that I love. I'm sure it doesn't hold up, but that's part of why the little bits I've gone back to, I can never impart that experience on them.
Yeah, I've tried in rewinds to articulate as best I can the precise feeling I had the first time I saw something, and that's the best you can do. I mean, until we can link minds up and telepathically transmit information.
Like in Dream Lecture Sheep, the empathic box.
Yeah, until we can do something like that.
But no matter how much I explain it or you explain it, it's never going to change their viewing experience.
Right. And it's never going to give them that precise feeling.
And it's also not a historical perspective thing, because there's things that I can watch and be in awe of that I wasn't there for because I understand it's important.
And it's interesting to try to dissect the reasons that we...
It's the things that aren't very good that I'm concerned about.
Yeah, it's interesting to dissect the reasons that we long to have that. And I think it's because, why we must share it with someone. Why we really wish that a person we care about could experience it precisely the way we did. And I think a lot of it is that informed us. Some of those things were so profound in shaping who we are, and you know our experiences define us. That a person that we know, we either would, maybe it's both of these things. We either would love for it to inform that person moving forward because we think that they might be a better person for it, or that they might relate to us more,
or we could at least have fun with it, or something like that. Like you could also enjoy this with.
But what I was going to say is also they would understand us more.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a lot of it. I think if people fully understood, for instance, the experience I had the first time I read Death of Superman, they would understand me better. They would know more of why I am the way I am.
Yeah.
And these are unarticulatable things.